on, NA Prep family? I'm Coach JJ, the director of NA Prep, and I just wanted to touch base with you about what this tier season is. I know there's a lot of questions and a lot of emails and a lot of comments. This year, we decided that from our numbers that there is a huge demand for a higher level of training and competition. So we created a tier program. It's AA/AAA program. You have some kids that might be able to kind of break into that AAA era, but several of our players are ready to play good AA hockey. This is not a supplemental program at all. This is a full season program where we're expecting full commitment, mandatory attendance, all those expectations that are held at all these higher levels across the world. That's what we are holding on to our players this season. So one of the first questions is this a team that you can play with my regular home club and then join? The answer is I doubt it. And the reason why I doubt it is because the commitment on the weekends is great. You know, it's 4.5 to 5 hours of team practice off ice, and then throughout the week we have virtual online skill work off ice, strength and conditioning, and we have classroom. And in classroom we talk about it could be our leadership skills. We talk about what plays we're doing on the ice. We talk about how we're integrating all of these things together. So it's a full committal season. And I know that's been a difficult thing for a lot of parents because they're like, oh no, I'm no longer a Bighorn. I'm no longer a Bruin. I'm no longer an Avalanche player anymore. It is a commitment you make, and it's not for everybody. So as I said before, it is largely based on your expectations as a tier player. So if you were in California and you're playing AA or AAA hockey, you couldn't play for another organization A. You know, you'd have to make a commitment. It's kind of like a promotion to another program. And what that does for us is I believe it takes that top 5% of the kids, 5 to 10% of the kids, and gives them a really structured and more developmental season because they're playing with like skilled players, as opposed to having 3 or 4 good players on a team and then everyone kind of there's such a large discrepancy in the play that it doesn't help either side. It doesn't help the lower side spectrum, it doesn't help the higher side spectrum. So this is, I believe, the answer to take care of that 5 to 10% of our kids and allow the other kids to actually develop with their like skill group, which is completely, not only is it what USA Hockey recommends, it's pretty much what the entire International Hockey Federation agrees with as well. So again, this is a regular season development tier AA, AAA program. And we have partnered with a league called the Premier Hockey League out of Canada, and it's called the PHL. And so what their system is, their structure is, it's about 6 months long, which is a normal season, and we will be attending 6 festival weekends, or we call them 6 hockey weekends, where we go and we play our league scheduled games, about four games in a weekend, so similar to a tournament. So we play a tournament style league series, and all the teams get together, we play our games, and we have about 5 of those during the season, and then the last one is usually our playoffs of the season. So it's like going 6 to 7 tournaments, except you're playing in a really competitive league, and you're playing actual league play. So it's a great opportunity for our kids to play at a much higher level, and with some consistency, with a strong league that will continue to foster and develop our players. You know, right now, a lot of this all depends on COVID and the border opening. So what we've done is we've made a plan A and a plan B. So we keep hearing the border is going to open September 21st. It won't. Maybe next year, maybe in October, maybe in January. There's no definitive answer. So what we've done is we've created a plan A. Now, our plan A is, hey, the border opens, everything's fine. We go ahead and we have our weekend practices in Butte, and then once a month, we all travel up as an entire club, and we go and play at our destination, wherever our series of games are being held. So it's a really nice concept, and it really is going to bring our club together and just really give the kids 3 strong weeks of just training and development. And then boom, we play our games. All games are full ice games, so even at our sport level, we are playing full ice. I think it's important to introduce those concepts early into our players. I do love small area games, small ice too, because I think it invokes a lot of higher and more efficient skill development, quicker transitioning, and hockey IQ. But this is for this league. It's going to be a full ice league. We're going to play anywhere between 30 and 40 games this season, which is a great number to be at. And our practices will all be held in Butte either on a Saturday or Sunday, and it'll be 4 to 5 hours of practice. There is a strong possibility that all of our teams may have a chance to attend a nationals, either nationals for the AAU, but our Bantam team will have a chance to compete in USA Hockey Nationals. Obviously contingent on whether they're going to have it this year. But that's our goal and that's our hope, is to be able to achieve those things. I like this schedule because I feel like it's going to allow people, especially with COVID, to really have a chance to focus on school, not be out every single night. I believe families are going to be able to have dinner 5 nights a week in most cases, and then on that weekend build up, we just go at it for skill and go at it for system training and go at it for scenario play. I just think it's a great development model to kind of achieve this tier goal. Unfortunately, it's not the most, it's not the most efficient because we're so spread out in Montana. But with what we have, it is the best solution to help your player move forward. A lot of parents were like, "Hey, why aren't we doing how come we just don't get together and play tournaments?" I've always had my own opinion about playing for 2 teams in a season. I've seen it personally. I've seen it in Montana. I've seen it in other parts of the world where those players that make these elite teams and programs that continue to play for their home club, it's like inserting a group of players, a higher elite player onto a team. And what it does for the players that don't make those teams is it creates this wall and this resistance and this kind of negative feel for it all season long. You got teams that you got home teams that go out and play a game, and then these elite players, they're going to play for their team, their other team. And it just creates this divisiveness, this division. And I don't want to contribute to that. So that's why it's kind of it's an all-in program, just so that kids can have that cutoff, like, this is where I am. And it doesn't become kind of a brag fest or anybody's like, it's not infecting the season. So that's one of the big questions that was asked to me, and I just have a really strong belief on not doing those things during a regular season. So it's either kind of I'm a AA player, AAA player, and that's it, or I'm an A player, or I'm a B player, that's it. Not I'm an AB player. I play on the AB team, and every once in a while I go and play for this AA team, because then it just starts to infect the other kids. There's this hierarchy. It's just cancerous in the locker room. So, I just felt that this was a better solution for all the programs and our kids and your kids and kids that make it and kids that don't. So that's one of the big questions that I was getting a lot, and that's I want everyone to understand. That's my approach on this. As I said, we talked about the schedule being less intrusive for your family, and there is a great possibility that our U14 program will have an opportunity to go to nationals this year, should it happen. Now, if Plan A doesn't work, if the border doesn't open, or even if it opens late, the league also told us that we could make up all those games that we missed later on. So that would mean that we would obviously go to a few U.S. tournaments that we could get into, and then this is Plan A. And as soon as the border opened up, we would go up and play the games that we've missed up there. So plan A could still work even if the border closes or if it doesn't open until January or October or November, whatever that may be. We can still get that schedule out, and it will be a really productive season for us. Plan B is to go ahead if we feel the border is not going to open, if it's going to be, if it's going to be too iffy, then we'll go with Plan B. And Plan B, we will just play state play. And there are several tournaments now, especially with the fact that USA Hockey's not sanctioning any tournaments right now. Tournaments have gone on and got their own private insurance so that teams that are willing to travel and want to travel can still travel to these tournaments. So we will get, if we don't have the PHL, then we will supplement our PHL scheduled league games, and we'll supplement them for tournaments. And then we'll hit about 6 tournaments, the same we would hit 6 league weekends up in Canada. So we'll be able to keep that schedule strong, keep the kids continue to play, and also find tournaments that will challenge our players more, and create a really good competitive flow of development for the season. A majority of our tournaments, if that does happen, we will be we'll stick around Idaho, we'll stick around Utah, we'll stick around Colorado, stick around Vegas, and even there's some in lower Southern California. We haven't committed to all these things. I do want to get a lot of parent input on what we want to do. But to kind of have something that we've never had before here, we're going to have to do things that we've never done. And it's kind of just like raising the bar, and it may be a little bit more of a committed season for a lot of families and parents as far as where we travel and what we do. But you know what? The outcome of what comes from these programs you can't replace it. Like, it's going to be amazing. Like, the development that you'll see in your player is going to be amazing, and give them the best opportunity so that when the time comes for them to be looked at from prep schools or looked at from junior A programs or college programs, that they're ready and they understand what it takes and they understand the behaviors that you need to have to reach those goals and reach those dreams. So I'm very confident about the schedule, and I'm very confident about the training that the kids will receive. So let me just give you a daily, like a demo weekly outline. And all this is on the internet, by the way, on nawild.com. You can go and look this up. So it would be either a Saturday or Sunday, and it would be two 2-hour training sessions. So we'd get on, we'd train, we'd get off, have talk, eat, have a snack, get right back on, and then you're done for the weekend. So we're trying to eliminate any kind of hotel stays, unnecessary hotel stays, and that's why we chose Butte as a location, because it's just quicker for everybody, and everybody can pretty much make that trip every weekend where it doesn't kill you. I mean, it's better than doing some of the drives that some of these parents have to make to go to 1 game or 2 games. So I do believe in the long run, it's going to help out with our travel and keep everything kind of closer. And we have a great relationship with Butte. You know, they've done a lot for us, and they've accepted us into that Butte program, and I love working with them. So, and here's what it would look like. On Mondays and Wednesdays, we would do virtual or online off-ice training, live recorded team workouts weekly, and we will have, we'll be doing strength training, plyometrics, very similar to what we do at summer camp, which is something that we don't focus on enough in Montana. And so we're gonna just elevate that completely and get our off-ice training, get every kid in really good shape, really develop their core, really develop a better mindset, what it takes to be this hockey player that so many of these kids want to be. So we will be doing that twice. We'll be doing that twice a week on Monday and Wednesday. And we'll also have, on Tuesday, we'll have online live classroom. So we'll Zoom, everybody logs in, we'll Zoom, and we will we'll look at whatever our module is for that week. So for instance, all of our captains, when we vote for captains in the year, We don't vote as coaches. The players vote, but before they vote, we go through a leadership program, which really talks about the qualities of a leader: character, integrity, ethics. And so we talk about these things and we understand these things, and then we do on the weekends we do team building activities that forces players to have to use these behaviors in situations that are stressful or where winning becomes a big component and losing doesn't feel good. And we bring out the leaders, and some kids really flourish and some kids just back away. And so by doing this type of setup, when it's time to choose captains, players understand that sometimes the captain isn't the kid who can skate down the ice and shoot and score all the time. It's somebody that lifts you up when you're upset, or when you're down is able to pick up a team, or represents by hard work. So they'll be doing this whole leadership module, which I've been working on for 10 years, and have on paper. It's a workbook for them, and everybody can talk about these leadership quality behaviors. Classroom, we'll also talk about our breakouts, our power play, penalty kill, what plays that we're trying to do, and really go through it through graphics and through video review, watching our team practices, doing it on what we can do and how we correct it. So we do a lot of video review this year, and that will be held on Tuesday. So that is pretty much our rundown of what a week would look like. Thursdays they would kind of have off, but we would also be able to use as a travel day should we have to go and play in Canada or go and play in another state. Also, we may throw in extra practices, like when we travel, we'll practice wherever we are. So if we're going to Idaho, we'll rent ice in Idaho and we'll have a 2-hour practice before a tournament, just so that the kids are ready. They've been on a bus, they've been in a car, they've been traveling, they've been flying, whatever they decide to do. And then we just get there, get the blood flowing, get together, have team dinner, and get ready for the tournament. So sorry this is so long, but I really want everybody to have the information and really listen to what the program is just from me. So our overview for the club, as I said, all this is online at anywild.com. We do have openings for U10 AA, AAA, U12 AA, AAA, and Pee Wee U14 AA, AAA. Or sorry, Bantam U14 AA, AAA. Player selection, which is going to be probably the most difficult part of this, because our tryouts are the third weekend in September, and they're held in Butte. And right now we are filling up very, very quickly. So there are going to be a lot of kids on the ice. The way the teams are selected, we do everything by hockey merit, skill, skating, and how they compete, their competition proficiency, attitude, and obviously work ethic. All teams will be formed through this evaluation process. During our evaluation, there are 3 sessions. So it's much like a development weekend. You show up, you have 3 sessions of ice. Your first 2 sessions are going to be solely built on numbers. So we go through several drills, several evaluation drills that are very common and the drills are formed in the behaviors and skating that we need to see in a game. So they're very game-like. Each player will have a wristband when they come up to the tryout, the evaluation. They'll have a wristband. They check in on the wristband to whatever drill they're doing, and they'll go. They'll have 3 chances. So every player gets 3 chances. If they fall, they can do it again. 3 chances to get through the course. And then your numbers go up into a big database and onto a TV, so that when we're done with day 2, we can see through numbers and through live testing, without coach blowing whistle or without a coach using a timer, because those things can always mess up. This is exact. So after day 2, we'll have all the data in a huge database. It'll actually be on a screen that the kids can look at themselves, and it'll place the players and give them a number on where they are on all of their testing. Now we're going to do this 3 times a year, and no matter what, coming to the evaluation tryout is a huge baseline for all these kids. And so when you go and do the baseline test, you'll at least know where you were at the beginning of the season. And when we do it 2 additional times, you'll know where you are in the middle and you'll know where you are in the end. And those numbers stay with you in your profile for forever. And so you can find out where you were and actually where you stand in the country or in the world through the same testing drills that we do. So does everyone else. So it's a great testing tool no matter what. So after day 2, we have our numbers. We have a good idea of where players are skill-wise. And then day 3 is when we throw the players on and we create small area game scenarios, and then we full ice scenario. And we really see how these players play without being timed, and how they work and talk to each other, and if they're easy to coach. And then that's how we make our final determination. We go into the war room on day 4, which will obviously be virtually online, and we will place all the players on their appropriate teams. And maybe 5 players that did not make the team will have a chance to be a red shirt. And a red shirt is when players can participate in all of our practices. And in the event that we have an injury or in the event that we have a sickness, that player can come and fill in a role to a major roster role. So red shirts are pretty valuable, and it's extra practice, and it's just being ready at any time to play should we need a player. Roster sizes will be 9 forwards, 6 defensemen, and 1 to 2 goalies. Our hockey season will begin officially when tryouts start. So that's September, 3rd week in September. Rosters will be obviously completed by the Tuesday after tryouts. If you do not come to tryouts, there is no roster spot available for you. We would be interested in taking a red shirt and having you practice with us until we feel that to find out if you're a fit for the team or not. But that will be done on a very sparse basis, depending on injury, sickness, out of town, something like that. Each team will play approximately 96 to 120 hours of on-ice skill development. So that is almost 3 times more than what players receive on a regular season here in Montana. Like an AB season, you're not even close to 96 hours. So we've upped that for you here. We're also playing in a high competitive league. And the new update is we have a U16 coach that may be joining us, but the U16 will not start until the following season. So that is our whole development program. If you have any questions, please feel free to call us. 1-866-NA-PREP-1. 1-866-NA-PREP-1. And just call and we'll pick up. And if you have any questions about this program, please reach out to me via email. That's academy@northamericanprep.com. You can also call 1-866-NA-PREP-1. That's 1-866-NA-PREP-1. Well, I've got to go. I have so much to do for this program right now, and I'm so excited at the amount of kids and interest that we're getting for them. And I'm looking forward to helping Montana grow hockey. So thank you, and you guys have a great day.